Squad 2.
2.
Keep it up, keep it up, keep it up. Nice and flat. A little bit higher, a little bit higher. Parallel to the ground. That's good. Excellent. Excellent. Good job. Good job. All right, you can put it down, face the front again.
1.
Squad 2.
2.
Squad 3.
3.
Oh, you guys are professionals now, right? Face the front again. I'll now show you the complete movements, and then we'll do it together. Myself only. Right. Turn. I put all the movements together. I have my first squad. Squad 1. 1. Squad 2. 2. Squad 3. 3. As a fluid movement, it looks really nice. The timing for it is as follows. Myself only. Right. Turn. 1, 2, 3, 1. Again. 1, 2, 3, 1. Drill it into your head. You're not gonna yell, but you're gonna say it out loud. Squad. Right. Turn.
1, 2, 3, 1.
The head table will be at the far end wall away from the kitchen. Will be in that direction.
Bolt, safety, red is dead. So when you see red, it's on safety. So I can shoot it back. So first thing you gotta do, you gotta pump. You gotta pump 3 seconds. So 1,000, 2,000, 2,000. Close it. Put the pellets on. Close the bolt. Aim. Take all the safety. Fire. Take back the bolt. Pump 3 seconds again. And so on.
Okay.
When you're done shooting, you pull, you take your end.
Push the white
Over the sling.
Put it over the thing?
Yeah, over the sling. So over the sling. Yep.
Okay, so you have.
And you take it where you're. Just pull this.
Yeah!
Go close, go close. Come on. I saw it on the videogram. We did the shot. Go.
Go right there. Wait from the goal.
Get it. I got it! Oh!
Okay.
Questions?
No, I just want to keep it. Is it on? Is it on light already? Is this thing on?
It's off.
Is it already pumped, RSA?
No, it's off.
Now it's on. Okay.
So,
That's
and
light.
it's open.
Yeah.
It's good?
I think so.
Okay. So we're here to laugh at you every
I already know what I'm here for. You guys to laugh at me, of course.
And you want to put your other hand here like this, you can.
It's not getting hard.
If you want, you can do it faster. Maybe it's enough.
And all of a sudden there was a separation, a divorce, and now my dad was no longer in the picture. And my mom, who was always at home, of course had to go to work now. And that just changed our dynamic in our household, because now I had more time in my hands. My brothers, my other 2 brothers, had more time on their hands. And of course that's when I started to get a little bit of trouble. And my mom always told me that if I did get in trouble, that she would pull me out of sports. And that's exactly what she did. She pulled me out of sports, and I was devastated because sports was my motivation. I had my coaches, my teachers, and my mom tell me how important my decision at that time was going to be for my future. Now, I was about 12 years old at this time. The guys I was hanging out with were still going to school, were still playing sports, and they were trying to encourage me to get my act together. So at the age of 12, not knowing that my decision was going to impact my future, I decided to get my act together, do better in school, and earn my way back onto the field, and that's exactly what I did. So I learned at an early age that surrounding myself with good people, like my friends that I had, were going to benefit me in the future. And that's what I try to still do to this day, surround myself with good people. But that decision that I made back at that particular time was huge because I had my coaches, my teachers, and my mom telling me, get your act together, and that's exactly what I did. But it didn't come easy. I remember when I was in high school, I was a very skinny kid. I mean, when I came out of high school, I was the same height, about 145 pounds. Now, I didn't earn a football scholarship when I got out of high school, and I wasn't sure what I was going to do. But there was a couple different junior colleges in the area that believed that I had the skill to play at the next level. So that's exactly what I did. I went to the local junior college, a junior college called Mount San Antonio Junior College. I played there for 2 years. Now again, once I was done there was only 2 universities that believed in me. One was Utah State and the other one was Southern Illinois. And they offered me a football scholarship. To me, growing up in Los Angeles, I never traveled, never went anywhere. So to go across the country to Illinois and play there was too far for me. So I went to the closer one, which was Utah State. And that was a great learning experience for me because here I was, a little Mexican kid, living in Utah. Again, I did not travel anywhere. We didn't have any money to go anywhere. So my world, all I knew about was my little area. So when I went to Utah, it opened up my mind. I started to realize that there's a whole other world out there. So after 2 years at Utah State, again, I thought my football career was over because growing up in the States, all I knew about was the National Football League. Did not know one thing about the Canadian Football League whatsoever. So I was fine with that. My plan was to go in to coaching and teaching at the high school level because the impact that my coaches and teachers had on me at that age was so crucial that I felt that I need to do this exact same thing. I got to repay them back. So my plan was to go back to my area in Los Angeles and coach and teach. But then I started hearing about this league up in Canada. So I inquired, and what benefited me was the CFL expanded into the U.S. In 1994, they added a new team called the Las Vegas Posse, and that's when I started. So imagine starting your brand new professional career, you're living in Las Vegas, and I'm competing against 12 other guys. Now, I came from a small Division I football program. Now I was going to be competing with guys who played from the bigger schools, that played on TV every weekend. And I actually questioned my confidence for the first time. Showing up first day of practice, seeing 12 other guys and thinking to myself, how am I going to compete? But after that first day, watching them, and I knew exactly what I could do, I said, never again am I going to question my confidence. So I competed for 6 weeks with these guys, and then becoming the starter for the Las Vegas Posse. But again, I was a young quarterback, 21 years old at that time, and I wasn't doing the necessary things to be a consistent championship quarterback at that particular time. I was still young. My work ethic was very, very suspect. I didn't lift any weights. I talked about how small I was in coming out of high school. Well, my first year playing professional football, I was 185 pounds. Not big at all. But as I started to grow and started to mature and started to finally be mentored and listen to the mentors, that's when I became more of a consistent championship quarterback. But early on in my career, I did not want to listen to them. I mean, when I stepped on the field, when I got to camp, my objective was to beat those guys out, to be number one. And even though they were older than me and had more experience, I just felt that if I could beat them out, why do I have to listen to them? Well, that didn't work for me because 3 years in Hamilton, when I was there, I struggled, very inconsistent. And the reason why I came to Montreal, because I wanted to learn from a great quarterback. And there was a quarterback here at this time, or at that time, a guy named Tracy Ham, a great quarterback. And the first thing I noticed is the respect that the players had for him, not only as a football player, but as a person. I mean, guys would come up to him and ask him questions about personal issues because they had so much respect for him. And that really stood out for me in my mind. So I pretty much just followed in Tracy's footsteps. Tracy would show up 3 hours before every practice to prepare to get ready for a game. And that's exactly what I do now. So my regiment, my routine during the season is I'm up at 5 o'clock every morning. I'm in the stadium by 5:30 and I'm watching film for 2 hours from 5:30 to 7:30. I'm breaking down the defense. I want to make sure that I'm not surprised when I step on that football field. From 7:30 to 8, I take a little break. And then from 8 to 9, we have our first meeting. And to me, this is the most important meeting of the day. It's the quarterbacks, the quarterback coach, our offensive coordinator, and our head coach. And we are going over every single detail of every single play that we're going to run for that practice. So communication is the key to success in my business. So when we're in there, we make sure that we know what we're doing. And when we leave that room, everybody has their assignments and there's not going to be any surprise. So finally, 9 o'clock, then practice officially starts. So from 9 to 1:30, we have our meetings. We go on the field, we have our practice, and the day is over. But I know for myself that I need to put in the extra time in order to be a consistent championship quarterback. And I continue to do that to the young guys. I talked about how Tracy Ham mentored me and he taught me. I'm trying to do the exact same thing to these young quarterbacks that we have. And it's going to be up to them if they're willing to accept my knowledge. So it's been a true blessing playing here in Montreal. I mean, this is going to be my 16th year of playing in Montreal, my 20th year overall of playing professional football. And it's exciting, but I know one day this is going to end. And people are always asking me when I'm going to retire. I don't know when I'm going to retire. I still feel that I'm still a young kid playing football. I mean, I'm 40 years old and still enjoying this game of football. But I know that one day that it's going to be over. So I'm trying to enjoy and accept the opportunity at this particular time. So that's pretty much what I wanted to share with you today. What I'd like to do now is maybe open it up to questions that you guys might have about what I just talked about, or something else that's on your mind, whether it's football related or not. So you guys could just raise up your hand and fire away, so don't be shy. In the back.
Football related. So I played football for 3 years now, and I've always felt a little bit like the underdog.
Yes.
Like the guy who can't make it.
Yeah.
How do I get over that? How do I step up?
Well, I think the one thing that I've learned is, I talked about how there's always one person or one coach that believed in me. Once they believed me, that's when I started to believe myself that maybe I could get this done. So I wish it would have been the reverse, thinking, I want to prove something to these people that I could get the job done. But the biggest thing is you got to take advantage of all your opportunities, whether it's here in the cadets or on the football field. But you really have to believe that you could get the job done. And sometimes you might have to work harder than the guy next to you. I think that's part of life. Some guys in my profession have the talent to not train, to not work out, and they're going to play solid football maybe for a year or two, but they're not going to be consistent over and over the years. And there's other guys who work hard, and they have to work hard because maybe they don't have the skill as the guy next to them, but he's just important to our success. And the teams that believe in that are going to have the best chance to win. I truly do believe in that. So for me, I just encourage you to believe in yourself and to push yourself as much as you can, whether you have to work harder than the next guy or not. Because at the end of the day, you want to enjoy what you're doing. If you're not having fun what you're doing, then you have to think about, is this the direction I want to go in? But to me, the biggest thing is if you enjoy it, you push yourself, and you're going to encourage the other people around you to do the exact same thing.